right, well, good morning, everyone, and happy Transgender Day of Visibility. Are we visible? All right, so today is a historic day because this is the first time ever the transgender flag will be flown over our state capitol. In 2019, we had the first Pride flag flying over the state capitol. So today is a great day. We celebrate and we recognize the many contributions that the transgender and gender non-conforming community have had in our beautiful state. The need to stand with the transgender community is so clear, especially now when we see that trans rights are under attack all across our country in state legislatures and in courtrooms. So I'm so proud to stand with you today to deliver a very clear message to the trans community. You will always have a home in our beautiful state of Connecticut. We're excited to be able to raise the flag for the first time over our state capitol after we hear from our wonderful speakers. And I want to take a quick moment to recognize someone who made this day possible, and that is the original designer of the trans pride flag, U.S. Navy veteran Monica Helms. Actually looking forward to having a larger trans flag to fly over the state capitol next year, but we've got one and it's very exciting. So as we raise the inaugural trans pride flag today over our capitol, I hope you'll join me to watch this historic moment because it is a very clear reminder to the community that we see you, we love you, we welcome you, and we're not going to stop fighting for your rights. So, before I hand it over to the next speaker, I want to share an important voice in Connecticut's transgender community, and it is the voice of New Haven Alder Devin Avshalom Smith. Devin couldn't join us today, but wanted me to read this statement. I sincerely wish that I could be here with you on this monumental occasion. Thank you to Governor Lamont and Lieutenant Governor Weissowitz for being strong allies to the LGBTQIA+ community and ardent supporters of trans lives. As the second openly transgender Black man elected in the United States and the first openly transgender man elected in Connecticut, this flag raising is of tremendous importance to me. It has both symbolic and sentimental value because the ability to live my life with dignity and protected human rights lies largely in the hands of Connecticut lawmakers. I am proud to be able to say that my community is respected and celebrated by individuals such as Governor Lamont, Lieutenant Governor Weissowitz, and many legislators. Thank you for honoring the transgender people who live, work, enjoy recreation, and most importantly, are family members, community members, and visitors in our great state. May God bless you all. So thank you so much, Devin, for that beautiful statement. And with that, it is my pleasure to hand it over to Erica Ortiz from the New Haven Pride Center. Erica.
Good morning. I have a little bit of hiccups, so I apologize.
You've got an outside voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Good morning. My name is Erica Ortiz, and I currently serve as the Community Impact Coordinator for the New Haven Pride Center. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to be in space with everyone to do so by celebrating the visibility of trans folks. And with that, I would like to reflect as we congregate and acknowledge our trans community. We must name clearly that it is unsafe for trans people to exist within their dignities, not only in this country, but globally. Since the beginning of 2023, there have been 6 known deaths of trans people. I would like to emphasize the word known, as many trans deaths are unsolved and unaccounted for, as they are misgendered and not addressed with the value and respect they deserve even after death. The Human Rights Campaign released an article in 2022 stating, transgender people of color account for 81% of known victims that year, and 59% were black. Trans women are disproportionately represented, as they have been in years past, also comprising 81% of the deaths. This was recorded at the time of publication. Our policies must reflect the inclusion and safety of the people we serve, not just the people we favor. Our policies must hold love ethics at its core and truly serve our people. Trans bodies and lives are not a political playground, and we must invest in queer-led and queer-centered organizations who center in their advocacy, providing resources, and in the programming that center and uplift the most impacted, such as the Children of Marsha B. Johnson, the Pride Center, the Triangle Community Center, and the Connecticut Black and Brown Student Union, and so many others. Let our efforts not end here with just a flag raising, but reflect in our investments, reflect in the safety we create, reflect in our visibility and in our policy. Thank you.
Erica, thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to invite up Carly Chardonnay-Webb, who is with Trans Lifeline and is a journalist and athlete. Carly.
Good to have some turnout this morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is good to be here. My name is Carly Chardonnay-Webb. I am everything our Lieutenant Governor said I am. But I'm also a staff operator for Trans Lifeline, North America's only 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week hotline, which is started by transgender people, built by transgender people, with the purpose of keeping transgender people whole. And by the way, Diana, I see you back there. One of my mentors, Diana Lombardi, is back there this morning. Diana, when I look at your face, I look at a person who, way back around 2009, 2010, was stalking these very halls, these very corridors of this state capitol to, in effect, win hard-earned rights. And everyone needs to give her, in fact, give her some love right now. Give her some love right now. Because there were people like Diana back in 2011 who said that the state of Connecticut should lead the world just like we lead the world on a basketball court, to make a commitment to equal rights for every citizen of this state in all places and at all times. And it is with this in mind that we have to continue that commitment, and we have to also extend the Connecticut example, not just here in this state, but across this country. And I have a note to all those in a number of states which are passing this ridiculous anti-trans legislation. Keep Connecticut's name out your mouth. Our state defends human rights. Our debate, the Constitution states, defends the Constitution. But Lieutenant Governor, I need more from you. Legislators, I need more from you. I need you to continue on this path. Do not turn back. I need you to move forward. I need you to make sure that every Connecticut citizen, be they straight, be they gay, be they lesbian, be they bi, be they non-binary, be they trans, continue to be protected in this great state we call home. And I want to note, especially to all these legislators, when certain people of a certain political persuasion deem to use terms such as groomer, use terms that demean transgender people in Connecticut, I need you in their face and saying in one strong voice, We are Connecticut and we don't do that here.
Carly, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to bring up Ace Ricker. Ace.
Good morning. My name is Ace Ricker. I use he, him pronouns. I am an openly black trans man, and I'm standing up here to be a voice for those who are scared from all this anti-LGBTQ plus hate that we're hearing across the U.S. I want to let individuals know that I am an ally to them. In those shadows where you have not been seen, that I did not see myself when I was going through school and growing up, I see you. I hear you, I advocate for you, and I will continue to do that. Here in Connecticut and other states, that we are no different than anyone else getting a coffee in the morning, getting the oil change done, paying our taxes. I am just like any other person here. I deserve every right that you have. I ask no more but to be treated as equal, to be loved and not walk outside with fear just because of identifying and being my authentic self, that someone wants to kill me. That someone just for a very skewed reason hates me and they don't even know me. So I stand here for all those who are in fear right now, and I will continue and speak louder and louder till I can make sure that you know that your voices are going to be heard and continually be heard. And I'm going to stand right next to you. I'm going to be there in person, in spirit, and we're going to continue this journey, and I'm going to hold all of you up and make sure that you are heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to invite Mel Kortner up for a few words.
Mel Kortner, they them, founding executive director at Q+. I'm really just here to talk to you about what queer youth are experiencing right now, especially our trans and non-binary youth. Things are rough. Bullying situation, even in Connecticut, out of control. You've already heard some stats. You've already heard some things about what trans people are looking at every day. Trans kids see themselves in those statistics. They see themselves in those headlines, and they don't get to see themselves anywhere else. Trans Day of Visibility is about uplifting, empowering, and celebrating our community, and we especially need to do that for our queer young people. So when we're talking about visibility, let's also talk about the positive stuff, and let's also keep an eye on our young people, because they need our support now more than ever. Those headlines go right to their phones. Those group chats, they're all in. These policies are what they're talking about. They deserve better, and it's on us to make it better. Thank you.
Mel, so well said. It's my pleasure to bring up State Representative Dominique Johnson.
It's so good to be with you all today. This is family. I'm Representative Dominique Johnson from Norwalk and Westport's 143rd District. I'm a proud gender nonconforming legislator. I might be the first legislator to use singular they pronouns under this dome, but I will not be the last, as our Vice President said. I'm also a proud ally to our trans and non-binary community members and siblings. We are a small but mighty LGBTQ plus caucus. I'm here today with Representative Marcus Brown, who will be speaking after me, Representative Jeff Curry, and Representative Rahab Ali Brennan, who were here before us. And we're small but mighty, but guess what? I believe that we stand on the shoulders of our elders, and many of you are here today, and we want the next generation to stand on our shoulders. So we will continue to be mighty, but hopefully small no more. I see today as a day to remember the folks that I was lucky enough to know when I was coming up as a queer youth, who made this possible for me today to be here with you. I stand on their shoulders. Some of them I was lucky enough to know people who were at Stonewall, and I see today as a Stonewall to the State House. For the first time ever, we're going to have a flag that represents trans joy fly above the State House, and it will not be the last time. It will not be the last time this flag flies above the State House. And we are here to do this work to make sure that our community, our whole community, is reflected in the laws we pass in this building. As some of my friends have said here today, it is a dark day and will be a dark night at dinner tables all around the country with our friends, our families, trying to decide, are they going to stay in the place they love, live in the place they were from? I'm from a place in the Midwest where I don't enjoy freedoms I do here in Connecticut, and I wear this flag over my heart that says, more or less, that I'm proof that they who transplant sustains. So come to Connecticut. We love you here, we will fight for you here, and you will be our family as well. There's laws that I won't go into, too numerous to mention, more than ever, in state houses all around the country that are driven by anger, cruelty, and even fury. But we here in this State House under this dome, in the People's House, are going to meet that with love, with empathy, and compassion. Bills may be proposed here, but they are not being raised in committee. And I promise you that we need our allies to make sure that this happens. And so I want to thank all of our allies. We're going to need you more than ever in the coming years and months. So from Stonewall to the State House, I have one more thing to say. To the youth, the LGBTQ youth, particularly to gender nonconforming and trans youth of Connecticut, run for office when you can. We are here to support you. I was once you. All of us was once you. We are here for you. And it could be student government now, it's going to be state rep later and beyond. And so this flag flies high today for the first time, but nevertheless, thank you so much.
State Representative Raheb Ali Brennan and Representative Jeff Curry couldn't be here. They send their regards and good wishes, and it's my pleasure to bring up the other part of the wonderful small but mighty caucus, State Representative Marcus Brown.
Thank you, Madam Lieutenant Governor. State Representative Marcus Brown, I just want to acknowledge the hard work that our Lieutenant Governor has done on behalf of marginalized communities across Connecticut, be it women, minorities, our LGBT community, and now today, making history raising the trans flag over the state capitol, something we would never have thought would happen in this building. So I just want to give it up to you, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you so much. Now, it is not lost on me that nationally we are seeing more hate and divisiveness amongst the other side because they no longer know what to fight for. And so as they often do, they try to find victims of their hateful attacks. And unfortunately now, because it seems to be popular amongst their decreasing party, is to go after people that you don't often see out in their specific communities, in rural communities. And so we will not let that happen in Connecticut. Our trans people in Connecticut and across this country need our protections. They need it now more than ever. And I know in Connecticut, as long as the Democrats control this house and in this building, that we will be there to protect you, we will be there to defend you, and never let any legislation hit the floor of the House that deems to hurt you, degrade you, or make you less than what you are. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Representative. And now it's my privilege to bring up Matthew Hope Smith of Husky Immigrant.
Good morning. My name is the Reverend Matthew Hope Smith, and I am one of the many faith leaders in the Husky for Immigrants campaign. And I want to make it really, really, really clear. I am a faith leader, I am a Christian, I am an ordained minister, and trans and non-binary folks are beloved and loved by God. As an openly queer minister, we are not the enemies of the Christian faith or even an attackers as has it been named. You are just mad that we have the audacity to love and be who we are made to be in God's image. And that you can hate, but you can hate the sun for shining too bright. But I'm here, would like to speak a little bit on behalf of the Husky for Immigrants campaign. I want to uplift and highlight that gender-affirming care is covered under Husky. And I also want to uplift, and to the legislators, we got it to 18, but let's get it to 26. Now, as we uplift this, there are some disparities, especially among the asylum seekers and the youth. And I want to make sure that we uplift them and make sure they have access to the same equitable health care that everyone has a right to. So everyone, I want to say that health care is a human right. Gender-affirming care is a human right. And living authentically of who God made you to be is a human right.
Reverend, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to bring up Vin Tran of the Connecticut Trans Advocacy Coalition. Vin.
Good morning, everyone. What an honor it is to spend this beautiful Transgender Day of Visibility with such an amazing group of folks up here. My name is Vu Tran. I am an ally to the trans community, and I'm also the treasurer of the Connecticut Trans Advocacy Coalition, CTAC for short. This momentum raising of the trans pride flag strikes at the heart of CTAC's mission, which is to make Connecticut a safe place for the trans and gender non-conforming community. Being in Connecticut, it's sometimes easy to become complacent because of all the protections we have that many other states do not. Thanks to our allies at the Capitol, we have seen many strides made in so many areas of transgender life, including in healthcare, in the workplace, and at home. But even in Connecticut, there continue to be challenges with opponents proposing undue restrictions on how gender identity can be discussed in schools and how trans athletes can compete on the playing field. This is why days like today matter. There are states all over this country that are moving backwards, restricting gender expression and access to gender-affirming care. It's important that Connecticut remains a positive force when it comes to trans issues, to show what progress and equality can look like, and to push the narrative forward at a national level. There's also been much discussion lately about the safety of our youth and of our children. While there may be many components to this conversation, one of them definitely being gun violence, one of them also must be the ability of our youth to live in their truth. Their mental health, their sense of self-worth, and their lives depend on it. It should not be a crime for our youth to be who they are. It should be celebrated, and that is why we are here today. So to all our trans and non-binary youth out there, and to all of us young at heart, we love you, we accept you, we see you. That flag flying today, that flag is for you. Thank you.
Boo, thank you so much. And now I bring up Kim Adamski of the Hartford Gay and Lesbian Health Collective. Kim.
Hi everyone, I'm Kim Adamski, HIV prevention specialist at the Hartford Gay and Lesbian Health Collective. As an organization, HGLHC has historically and continually advocated for and provided appropriate services and education to the trans community. Our affirming providers and staff work tirelessly to provide the best possible service to folks of all genders. Our Trans Health Days, educational programming, and partnerships with trans-led organizations like the CT Trans Advocacy Coalition and Peer Pride, among others, helps us constantly improve our service to the trans community. Trans Day of Visibility, while perhaps not as well known as Trans Day of Remembrance, is incredibly important. Celebrating trans folks, trans joy, and the work and achievements of the community is paramount to LGBTQ+ equality. Black and brown trans folks started the modern American Pride movement and continue to carry the movement. And we encourage everyone to recognize this, help lift trans voices, and speak up against transphobia and discrimination at every opportunity. At the Health Collective, we firmly believe that trans visibility helps improve the lives of trans folks and will continue to work to amplify trans voices and advocate for the community. We support folks of all genders to be well and be yourself. Thank you.
my privilege to bring up John Board of New Britain Pride.
First of all, thank you, Madam Lieutenant Governor. Good morning, everyone. Today's a special day as we gather to celebrate Trans Day of Visibility. This day marks an important moment for the entire LGBTQ community to honor the contributions of trans individuals to our society, especially with today being the first day that we are flying the transgender flag over the state capitol. We should cherish and celebrate this historic moment that reflects on our commitment to diversity, equality, and human rights. It's a testament to the progress that we've made in respecting the diversity of our world as a whole. I think it's also important to note that governors across the nation, we talked a lot about today some of the challenges that the LGBT community has faced. But I think it's also important to note some of the accomplishments, some of the moments of pride that has also sprung up during this moment of darkness in the community. Moments like in North Dakota, where the governor vetoed a bill that targets transgender student pronouns, or in Kansas, where Governor Kelly, for the third time, vetoed a bill that banned transgender athletes from girls and women's sports, or even here in Connecticut, where Governor Lamont signed legislation outlawing the gay LGBTQ panic defense, which the defendants are now barred from saying a victim's orientation or gender expression causes them to panic and commit crimes. This moment is not just simply about raising a flag, it's about raising awareness and empathy and understanding. So let's use this moment to start a conversation, start to have a dialogue, ask questions, and listen to one another as we try to solve some of the biggest issues facing our society. Let's live out the phrase Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. Today, let's celebrate the courage and resilience and strength of our community. Once again, I thank the Lieutenant Governor's leadership on all issues relating to the LGBT community, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
John, thank you so much. I would like to bring up Dr. Gina Rossick, who is at the University of St. Joseph Department of Social Work. Gina.
Hello, greetings. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. It is an honor to be here today on this Trans Day of Visibility to speak with you all and raise the trans flag in pride and community and in celebration of trans lives. We are living under an unprecedented time of attack. Across the country, 435 anti-LGBTQ bills have been introduced, an overwhelming number of them aimed at attacking trans kids. Bodily autonomy is under attack in this country, and the rights of trans and non-binary people are inextricably linked with all of us within the LGBTQ community, and with everyone who refuses to lay down and accept heteropatriarchal oppression, or indeed oppression in any form. I stand here today as a member of the queer community and as an ally to trans and non-binary folks. As a social work faculty member at the University of St. Joseph, I am a proud co-organizer of an ongoing trans ID clinic with my partners Reverend Aaron Miller of Metropolitan Community Church of Hartford and TV 365, which stands for Trans Visibility and Voice, 365 days a year, as well as the Trans ID Project at GLAD and the law offices of Shipman and Goodman. Together, we have created the Trans ID Clinic as a safe and affirming, supportive environment to assist those people who wish to get support and guidance on their gender journeys with changing their legal names and gender markers. Our Trans ID Clinic crosses at the intersection of legal, social justice, and emotional support. As a social worker, I view this as a structural intervention with highly personal, emotional ramifications that can save lives. And saving lives is fundamentally the purpose of our work. In my own life, I have personally borne witness to the incredibly emotional experience of friends, loved ones, and partners as they were able to hold in their hands a legal document that inarguably reflects who they are and all the rights and privileges afforded with that. To be able to provide that space for the dozens of people who have come to our clinic is a privilege. Reverend Aaron Miller was unable to speak here today, but he asked me to tell you about TV 365 and its focused outreach ministry to the trans and non-binary community. Their mission is to help in ways that lead to the reduction in the high rates of suicide, risk of murder, and experiences of loneliness and despair that often result from social stigma, anti-trans hatred, and violence. Folks who experience these at the intersection of racism, poverty, ableism, and other forms of oppression are especially vulnerable. In the wake of recent events, many people who identify as trans and non-binary, or whose appearance does not clearly conform with white, cis, heteronormative gender norms, are likely feeling incredibly unsafe right now. It is my hope that our clinic and events like these send the message that a life of safety, of dignity, of human rights, and recognition to live authentically are not up for dispute. And I hope as a cis ally to amplify the voices of the trans community and let you know that we have your back.
Thank you. And now I'd like to bring up the person who had the idea that there should be a pride parade in Connecticut, which happens to be in my hometown and which happens to be the best pride parade in Connecticut for support.
Right, good morning everybody. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Yeah, it's so nice to see you all today and I'm so honored to be here to speak with you all. My name is Christopher Fort, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the Assistant General Counsel for the City of Middletown, but today I'm speaking to you as the founder and lead organizer of Middletown Pride. Growing up as a gay boy in Torrington, I never imagined that in my lifetime that I would be speaking here in the state capitol to help the state recognize the Transgender Day of Visibility. While I'm not a member of the transgender community, the lesson and value of visibility is one that all of us in the LGBTQ community know all too well. It is a powerful tool that has profound impacts on our lives and on our livelihoods. As allies of the trans community, it is our responsibility to use this day and every day to stand together and combat the discrimination that transgender people in Connecticut and across the country are facing. The power of visibility can be seen in the story of Middletown Pride. It started at an event just like this one, a flag raising that I coordinated with then Mayor Dan Drew for Pride Month in 2018 as a symbol to the city's LGBTQIA+ community that they belong. Just 1 year later, we held our first ever Pride Fest, an event that drew 15,000 people and opened many people's eyes to just how big and how vibrant our community is. In the 5 years since, we have turned that visibility into meaningful action to start to create a space in our city for the transgender community to feel safe and to feel valued. We raised the transgender flag at City Hall to celebrate both the Transgender Day of Visibility and the Transgender Day of Remembrance. Last year, all City Hall employees took LGBTQIA+ training, even the mayor. We created the city's first LGBTQIA commission that gives trans people a platform and an opportunity to serve as part of their local government. Most importantly, we built a process at the city level to work with city staff to facilitate their transition in the workplace. Now, given that today is the Transgender Day of Visibility, I want to take a moment to lift up the voices of someone in our community, Jennifer Billingsley, who happens to be the vice chair of the city's LGBTQIA+ commission, who couldn't be here with us today. I asked Jen, I said, what is one thing, the Transgender Day of Visibility, about the Transgender Day of Visibility that you want everyone here today to know? They said, what we are fighting for is basic respect and basic autonomy. And they hope that this symbolic gesture today lights a fire in each and every one of you to continue the fight for Connecticut's future and the future of your neighbors, constituents, and friends. Jen put it so beautifully. Now more than ever, it is incumbent on those of us who are allies to the transgender community to use our privilege and our positions of power to fight for change and equality on their behalf. There is currently an unacceptable wave of anti-transgender laws flooding legislatures all across the country. And let me be clear, any one of these bills is unacceptable. This is not something that's merely hypothetical or only affects people outside of Connecticut. There are currently 5 bills right now regarding transgender rights being proposed right here in Connecticut. I ask all of you who are here today and watching, that are state and local officials, what are you doing to make sure that your communities are safer and more accepting for our transgender family? There are so many things that we could all be doing on a local level that have such a huge impact. Fly the transgender flag. Cover all gender-affirming care as a standard in your healthcare packages. Create a transition policy at your workplaces so transgender people feel comfortable and safe and have a mechanism to transition at work. And that's just to name a few. I mean, let's turn visibility into meaningful change. Yeah. I sincerely hope that we all leave here today ready to stand up and to do the vital work that our transgender family needs from us. But today, join me in declaring to the transgender community that here in Connecticut, we will fight for you. Here in Connecticut, you are safe. And here in Connecticut, you are home. Thank you so much.
And our final speaker is Stephen Hernandez, who leads our Commission on Women, Children, Seniors, Equity, and Opportunity.
Thank you, Madam Lieutenant Governor. I'm so proud to be here with you today as a member of the extended family of the LGBTQ+ community and also administrator of the LGBTQ+ Health and Human Services Network. I acknowledge the presence of our executive board. You know, awareness and visibility, remembrance, is both celebratory and solemn. And we have to remember that trans people everywhere remind us that bigotry is alive and well. Trans women remind us that misogyny in all of its forms is alive and well. Trans black women remind us that HIV is not over in this country and in this world. So we have to again reaffirm our commitment that we will not use trans people as tape detectors in this country and in this state until we decide that something needs to be done. So I invite you to join us in ending discrimination and the isolation of our trans folk. Invite them into the fold, part of this country and this beautiful state. Thank you, Madam President.
So we will, in a few moments, raise the transgender flag for the first time above our state capitol. I will tell you that in May of 2019, as I was getting ready to help celebrate Pride in Connecticut, I called the Legislative Management Office that takes care of the Capitol grounds, and I asked if on the 1st of June that we could fly the Pride flag, and there was a pause, and then I heard, well, we've never done that because we only fly the flags of countries over our state capitol. And I said, well, I am very sure there are gay people in every country on the planet. And then there was another pause, and you're right. And so I was very delighted when we asked 2 days ago to fly this flag that the correct decision was made, because we are in the people's house, and the people's house, our beautiful state capitol building on the inside and on the outside, should reflect the fact that we see you, we love you, we welcome trans people to our beautiful state, and we will fight to protect everyone's rights in our beautiful state.